Today, I was gonna cut the mint, but something very strange happened. What's up, guys? I'm gonna give you context on why I decided not to cut my mint for profit, right? And it's because I was working 5 days a week, double shift, pretty much double shifts. I was doing 7 hours in my part-time job, but I was dead tired, man. I did not have time for the house, for my garden, for my microgreens. So I thought about it, I was like, you know, I can grow microgreens in and dedicate 1 or 2 hours a day, and I will make the same amount of money as I'm making in this part-time job, maybe even more. And so I'm like, I talked to my boss and I said, man, I need to go down to three, or he cut me down to 4 days, but that was still not enough. I was just recovering on my other days, and with the grass growing so fast, that was the only thing I had time for pretty much, and family, I got family. So this week he cut me down to 2 days a week on my part-time job, and that has given me a lot of time. It's opened up space for me to work with my microgreens, and I'm being successful again with my microgreens. It turns out that I may make more money with microgreens right now than working the other 2 days, right? So I make up for it in a couple hours, because I gotta wash trays, plant, harvest. I can do that in one afternoon a week, and I can make up for those 2 days. So I'm gonna keep 2 days in that part-time job because it's good to have something to do in the afternoon other than my garden. Plus I kind of like being there for those 2 days. I get free food too. I can bring a bunch of food for the rest of the days, pretty much. They throw away so much food. So anyways, today I was gonna cut the mint, but something very strange happened. There's no flowers right now basically for the bees. All the trees have gone to fruit. They produce flowers in the spring and then they go to fruit. Some stuff like persimmons in the wild are ripen up and they fall, and that's what the bees eat right now, right? Like peaches, they also ripen up and the deer eat it when they falls, and some bees get some of it. The fig trees, they ripen up if you have them, and they fall when they're really ripe, and the bees will harvest those really ripe fruit too. But my mint has overgrown, right? I'm giving you context. My mint has overgrown and it produced flowers. And when I went to cut it this morning, it's full of flowers. And there's a whole ecosystem of there. You know, let, let me tell you some curious. People say plant mint so you don't have mosquitoes. That's a lie. Mosquitoes are living under my mint. And when I went over to cut the mint, right, there was butterflies. There was like one, two, three, four, five type of bees. There was my regular honey bees. I got two beehives. So we got the beehives. Watch my hand. My beehives. The carpenter bees, the big black puffy ones. We had this. I seen this big ass wasp with this. I mean, it was freaking beautiful and scary at the same time. Then there was this really fast bee. It was a small fast bee. It was just fucking fast. I looked at it and it just fucking moved. Like, it was scaring me. Then there was this other big like wasp type of bee, not the regular red ones, but this is just a weird big ass bee, right? And then hold on six, there was this other bee, and then there was a moth, and there was there might even be some butterflies. I see some butterflies, so they might be even harvesting food from the mint. But I'm gonna go take videos right now so I can put here for you guys so you can see. And I might not be able to record all of them, but there was basically 6 or 7. Even the mosquitoes, so let's say 8 with the mosquitoes living in the mint, harvesting food off the mint. And so I decided not to cut it. And it comes down to, like, do I need the money? Do I want the money? Or do I want these bees to have a source of food? And so luckily I'm at the point where I don't have to make car payments. I don't have to make insurance payments. I just paid my car for 6 months yesterday. I paid $360 for 6 months because it's a very old car. And so I say, you know what? I don't need the money, and so I went with, I'm gonna leave this mint for the bees, for my beehives, and for these all these other bees. They're probably lonely bees, what they call I don't know, but they live alone. I guess they only mate and then they live alone. I forgot what they're called. But basically 8 types of insects living in the mint, and I thought it was fucking amazing. I mean, I've seen all these swarms. You're not gonna be able to see them because now it's later in the day and they disappear. So I'm gonna still record a couple of videos so you guys can watch. And yeah, I planted on tires because when I moved here 3 years ago, I didn't have money for wood, so I used tires. So don't judge me on that. Fuck you too. So, anyways, listen, guys, I'm being funny. Don't take it personal. Anyways, my chayote plant is also going to flowers. I don't know if the bees have anything to do with that. I don't remember, but they're starting to produce flowers now, so that's a good thing. But basically, the only source of food I got for the bees right now in this house, although I'm surrounded by nature, it's the mint and these kazuna vines, which I keep fighting. Kazuna vines are all over the place. I fight them all the time. They're invasive. I really need some goats. But anyways, and the kazuna's producing flowers too. I'm not sure. I checked like a week ago and there was some purple flowers, so I think they're producing those. And the figs, but there's no ripe figs because I eat all of them, so that's not a source of food for the bees really. And the peaches on the other side of the house, they're ripening too and falling, but the deer are eating it, so I don't think the bees are getting to them. Plus they have maggots, so there's that. I don't know if there's a source of food for the bees, but it comes down to the mint and the kazuna vines right now. Those are sure things that the bees are harvesting, nothing else. So that's my story with the mint. You know, this week I'm gonna get my first paycheck after cutting my hours, because I went on vacation too. So, if I can make it through with the money and still buy crypto, and because my goal is to buy $100 of crypto a week, right? Sometimes I'll do $200, but $100 is my goal. And if I can still do that, pay my bills, and still have some money left over with the microgreens I'm growing, and working the 2 days on the part time, plus my full time job, right? Then I'll leave the mint alone, let it be for the bees, and I'll just do other things, just microgreens, I guess. But if not, I'm gonna have to cut the mint because I can actually make a little bit side money with the mint. I mean, I have a lot of mint. I can harvest like, I don't know, maybe like 10 pounds, probably. I don't know. But anyways, I chose the bees right now. For now, I chose the bees. Instead of harvesting and selling the mint, since they already up in flower and I cannot sell that mint, let's make that clear, I cannot sell that mint. So I will have to cut the mint down and let it grow again and then harvest it, right? And so it's beautiful. I cannot sell this mint with all these flowers and this hardwood basically. So yeah, that's what I did. I hope it's a good decision. I hope that the universe is aligned with me and that I don't have to grow the mint for money. I'm happy I'm in the garden again, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so yeah, I just thought I'd make that story, tell you guys that story. Sometimes we have to be patient and let life run its course, right? If I'm strapped with money, then I'll have to cut it down and start harvesting mint to sell. But if I'm okay with money, and investing my $100 goal a week, then I'll be good. I don't need to let the bees be happy, right? I mean, they have other sources of food probably. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. Peace out. See you on the next one.